Who are some celebrities that give you bad vibes? Christina Aguilera. This isn't a vibe. It is real. I met her at a meet and greet when I was 10 years old because of my Make-A-Wish wish. Backstreet Boys weren't available. I was a sick kid, looked very physically sick, and she took one look at me up and down, made a new face, but quickly faked a smile for the camera. She's a great a-hole. I should have just went to Disneyland like most kids chose for their wish. Would have been great if you said, sorry if I'm grossing you out. The Backstreet Boys weren't available. Olivia Munn is god-awful. She used to come into a restaurant I worked at in Hollywood. She was, bar none, the worst celebrity patron I ever had to deal with. Servers would give up their table just to get out of dealing with her. She'd shoot like insist that she sit at an A-top even if there were like 3 or 4 people in her party just because the table was in the center of the room and she wanted to be seen even though we'd be busy and there were larger parties coming. She also would degrade servers. She thought it was funny to rip on people to be funny, but it wasn't funny. It was just shooty bullying. It was like when the popular idiots in your high school made fun of you. She even ripped on the bussers. Who freaking does that? I personally think she has imposter syndrome really badly and overcompensates by acting like an a-hole. A lot of celebrities that I've had bad experiences with do this, but she was the absolute worst. It bewilders me that an establishment would tolerate this behavior and allow her to come back. I'm a bartender in Old San Juan and we get plenty of famous actors, musicians, whatever coming through. And if they're ants, they get thrown the frick out in 86D. Not just my bar. Any of the decent spots in town. Multiple Grammy Award-winning artist sends in his security to ask us to clear the bar so he can come in and not be bothered? Frick right off. Now you're 86D, you twat. Wendy Williams. After seeing a clip of her mocking Terry Crews for coming out publicly about being sexually assaulted, I can't believe she still gets views. Her audience is a bunch of brain-dead frickheads to clap at her horrible statements. Can't wait to revisit this thread in 18 months. I'm sure 50 different clickbait articles will use this page as a reference. Nearly everyone being named has already publicly been accused of serious shoot. Like really? You get bad vibes from Harvey Weinstein and Marilyn Manson? Frickin' groundbreaking insight that. Thank you so much guys. All TV pastors that live the life of luxury while asking their lower/middle class audience for money, because God will return it 10 times. If there is a devil, he's most certainly Kenneth Copeland. Kenneth Copeland is just the ventriloquist doll that the devil possesses to interact with the physical world. G-Eazy. Super creepy dude. Kept hitting on my photographer even after she declined him multiple times and said she had a kid and a man. After he left, someone from his team gave her a hotel room key which she threw away. Big Sean. Overall asshole. Spit at me. Because I was filming his wrong side. Should have walked off that job. But didn't. Really the only 2 celebrities I've encountered that weren't professional and/or kind. I heard from someone that at one of his concerts, his manager gave this girl and her friend a hotel room key to G-Eazy's room, even after they said they were underage. That's when you give the room keys to a couple of dudes who are going to use the opportunity to rob him. Nikado Avocado. The mukbang YouTuber. There's something seriously wrong with that guy. He needs mental help. Nick Cannon. The guy who had 4 kids by 3 different women in 1 calendar year. Yeah, kinda skeezy. One of whom he named Powerful Queen Cannon, also known as Powerful Cannon. Jeff Bezos and his creepy ass laugh. He always sounds like he's laughing in mockery at the rest of the world. I keep expecting him to say, "Hello world, I'm Jeff Bezos and I'm here to announce that I am holding 100 people hostage in a secret location and the bomb is about to blow. You have 5 minutes, Superman muha haha." John Travolta. He doesn't feel human. Yet, Scientology does weird things to people. Any of those celebrities who have been neck deep in it have this glossy-eyed, uncanny valley aura about them that something isn't right. It's very off-putting. Jeffree Star. Couldn't stand him when he was MySpace famous, and I can't stand him now. I was so upset when he became a YouTube beauty guru. He's been notoriously narcissistic, racist, and just plain awful. All the celebs who obviously had work done, but refused to admit it. Oh, I would never put a needle near my face. I'm already a model, so why would I need that? They literally think we are not only very stupid, but also very blind. Nothing wrong with plastic surgery, but please just admit it. I'm talking about nearly every top model and every Kardashian. YouTubers as well. This is one of the many things I love about Dolly Parton. She's owned being plastic since forever, even in times when the stigma against it was much larger. I guess most people don't feel as secure in their talent and fame as Dolly does though. It takes a lot of money to look this cheap. Dolly Parton. Christian Bale said he based his performance as Patrick Bateman in American Psycho on the impression he got of Tom Cruise after meeting him. Really makes you think about what Tom Cruise must be like. Jared Leto does not seem to be going in a good direction. Elizabeth Moss. Something about her starring in a cult show while still being a cult member and defending it doesn't sit right with me. I dated a Scientologist for a while, and as a result I literally cannot watch or listen to anything starring or made by Scientologists. It's a destructive cult with extremely dangerous views on mental health created by a shooty pulp science fiction writer who only created it for the money. My wife grew up in Scientology, and both of us now can't watch stuff with Scientologists in it on principle. Gwyneth Paltrow makes me uncomfortable. Maybe you're just inserting the jade eggs wrong? Any celebrity that is a member of Scientology. The most disappointing one I've learned of recently is Nancy Cartwright, Bart Simpson and many other characters. She donated $10 million to the church in 2007. She did a Scientology ad in the Bart Simpson voice. DJ Khaled. There's nothing authentic and down-to-earth about him, it's all an image, and it was made obvious when the whole Tyler the Creator #1 album thing came out. The industry might love him, but he's an egomaniac who thrives off other success. He was a guest at a music festival I went to a few years ago. He decided to bring a DJ to mix his entire set while he just jumped around and spoke into the mic. He would sing along to All I Do Is Win, and 30 seconds into the song he was out of breath and just yelled "Sing My Shoot" as he held the mic out to the crowd. He's an absolute clown, honestly. Watch him on Hot Ones and you'll see quickly how big of a douche he is. James Charles. I can't stand the way he talks. It's like he's shouting every word. That's the least of my issues with James Charles. The fact that Sephora still had his palettes out months after they agreed to separate from him due to allegations disgusted me. Armie Hammer. He is definitely a weird guy. Actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf Armie Hammer. Joel Osteen. That fake-ass smile. The way he moves. Never mind what he's trying to sell. He's a freaking backstabbing predator. Every time I see that man's face I have the overwhelming urge to punch it with a brick. I saw a post that said that Joel Osteen looks like Martin Short doing an impression of Tim Allen, and I must say it is quite accurate. And Kenneth Copeland too. Same type of person. Kenneth Copeland looks like a demon. His eyes are dead. It's so unsettling. I wouldn't be surprised if he suddenly sprouted hooves and horns. Dr. Phil. He's not even a doctor, he just stirs the pot and exploits people. The Behind the Bastards episodes on him are intense. Basically, of Oprah's doctors, John of God raped the most people. Dr. Oz has advertised his followers into the most indirect deaths, and Dr. Phil has tortured the most kids. So, when are gonna start questioning Oprah? It's come out several times that Drake is a pedo, but no one seems to care enough. That really bothers me. Well, look at how long it took for anything to happen to R. Kelly. Chappelle was making skits on that in like the early zeros, and Boondocks did a whole episode also, and he only recently got in enough trouble. Kylie Jenner plus Travis Scott. Gwyneth Paltrow. Goop is a terrible modern-day snake oil cure-all elixir company. But no, buy my overpriced unhealthy VJ eggs that every doctor will tell you not to use. Hey, do you want these stickers that astronauts use that don't do anything at all? $4.120? She has a show on Netflix where she watches people bone and then gives them tips. That's all I have to say, I guess. Oh my god, I read this as tips as in money, but then I reread and I'm realizing you must mean advice, and I don't even know which is worse. Drake the type of guy to say mimi when he sleeps. Piers Morgan. People either love or hate Jeremy Clarkson, but they are all thankful for doing what everyone's wanted to do for years. Punch Piers Morgan. James Corden, I don't know what it is about him, he just gives me bad vibes. It might be a cliché answer now, but when everybody, it seemed, was watching Ellen and thinking she was this awesome person, I was so incredibly put off. And I didn't say anything mainly because I didn't want people to think I was homophobic, but the couple times I saw her talk show, I swear that smile never reached her eyes. I kept thinking, she hates being there. She hates absolutely everyone in that studio. Turns out I was right. It took me a while to get there, and I just thought it was boredom with her talk show, but she seemed so freaking bored whenever anyone else was talking. It didn't matter if it was a celebrity or a fan calling in. She was just oh wow, yeah? Really? Oh, if she wasn't the center of attention, she just didn't give a shoot. Blank, Kardashian, Jenner, and anyone connected to them. Simon Cowell. I mean, it's pretty much a given at this point that he's a soulless seal of a man, but I reckon there's so much more that we couldn't begin to imagine. From the get-go, Ellen DeGeneres gave me bad vibes. I couldn't understand why so many people liked her. She has a way of talking to people, especially non-celebrities, that always irked me. It comes across as belittling. Tom Cruise. I would 100% not be surprised to discover that Tom Cruise murders babies and it's all covered up.